Okay. Happy New Year! It is officially 2018. This is January 2nd that I'm filming this. I don't know if it's gonna be January 2nd when I get it posted, but today I'm just gonna look at some of my old photography, which is actually, this video is inspired by Jessica Kobesi's YouTube video of her reacting to her old photography. She did a photo year kind of thing. I have not been shooting that long. I've only been shooting about a year and a half, or at least what I consider actually shooting. So I'm going to go through most of my sessions and just kind of look at them and see how they progress. I'm going to go ahead and get started. That's her video. So let's just dive right in. Let's see what happens. This was what I consider my first actual shoot, and I did not great, I'm not going to lie. It was a band playing at a local coffee shop downtown, and it was terrible lighting, absolutely terrible lighting, very backlit. Everything was bright sun outside, and then just some ambiance going inside, which was great, but not great for taking pictures in. Ooh, what's that word? I did like how the backlighting gave her such a strong profile, that's the word, profile down the front of her face. It was not my best. There's no headspace, hardly any, and it's mostly hair. It's not my best. Let's just move on. Here I'm starting to learn about colors because I had never really edited. Most of these beginning pictures, I mean, I bumped up the contrast and the saturation, but other than that, it's just kind of, you know, picture. Yeah. But here I am learning about headspace. As you can see, there's a lot. It's terrible because I got the focus on the flowers and not on her face, her eyes, and so that's cringeworthy. Still learning, still working on it. Oh, this picture. Okay, so this was my first senior session shoot. Senior session shoot. I was really surprised with this whole shoot. They were really clean, nice, I don't know, smooth pictures. We had great lighting. It was Saturday morning that we took these pictures, and I really loved it. Again, there's not a lot of space around her, as in the first picture that I showed you. So if you were going to frame this, you'd probably lose the detail of the 17, which is really important. So this was my first actual kind of concert that I took. I know I did the first in the coffee shop, but this was at an actual little concert hall at my college. This is Lizette, and this is my favorite picture. This is probably the best picture I got from that night. Oh no. So this was another ADP that I did of Dustin, which Dustin is crazy talented. But this wasn't probably the best picture, but I really did like it. And I know black and white is kind of like a cheat way when you can't quite get the color correct. So that's why I used it here. I was struggling with color that time. But this was a lot of fun. Emily is so beautiful and so much fun shooting with her. She had this beautiful pink dress and she had curled her hair out, so that was fun to play with. I don't think I even dodged and burned her eyes like any at all. They're just so vibrant and such a pretty blue, so, and that complemented the pink dress too. Oh dear. Okay. I love this picture, don't get me wrong, but there's so much green. Which I was going for, you know, green smoke, green background. But I made it too green. Like, the saturation is just, like, nature is not that green. It's not. But that was a lot of fun shooting the smoke. I definitely want to do that again. You can tell in comparison to the senior portraits and, it's the other one that was outside, and the pictures with Merritt, this is getting a lot brighter. I'm learning how to edit by now, or at least being experimental with what I'm editing. And this is in a gazebo, which gazebos are terrible for pictures, but of course everyone wants a picture in a gazebo. But it's just a little tint of darkness and shadow, so it's really difficult to get the lighting. But here I'm outside of the gazebo and I just had her leaning over the edge. But Heather, I definitely need to shoot with you again because that was so much fun. Although I was still kind of in like portrait mode, and for Heather I'd want to do more of an artistic, relaxed picture style. I remember this picture. I was really upset at my photography. I felt like it just wasn't going anywhere. Like, I was just not doing anything creative with my photography. I was just taking pictures of people and just, you know, here's some saturation, here's some contrast, and that's it. I feel like it's too yellow. If I had a reflector to bring some light back into her face, I mean, it's still got a little highlight here, but it would just be nice to add a little bit more in. These were the first headshots that I took. This is one headshot, not these, plural. Jessica is so gorgeous. I love this picture. Trial and error, and of course I did research to see what other headshots look like, and this is what I came up with. And then this picture is over edited. I know it is. For some reason I just really like it. I do wish her face would have had more light, just to make that pop a little bit more. But I am going to show you the before and after of this one because I really do like it. And I know it's so over edited, but I don't know. It just gives it something kind of cool. This may have been my darkest shoot ever. And I didn't have any lighting equipment or anything with me, so I used my on-camera flash. I just kind of embraced it here and was like, okay, we're gonna go for that high glam, bright contrast kind of look. And I mean, it looks pretty neat actually. I do like this picture. But don't believe the picture. The sky is not blue. It's very, very dark. It reminds me of a postcard for some reason. I don't know, you probably didn't get that. I shoot guys from low angles, So this is Zach, and he wanted to showcase some of his Broncos gear, so I took some pictures for him. Much more vibrant than those old photos, especially with that orange, you can really tell. And I saw this picture on this pose on Pinterest, and I wanted to try it because it did look really neat, but I thought this was a really cool picture. And plus it's Zach, and I just love Zach, he's such a sweetheart. We are now up to speed. This is the most recent picture I've ever taken. This was of the lovely Shelby, and that was so much fun. Again, I always managed to find terrible light, but the sun was setting and it was getting darker, and this was my first shoot with the reflector. This was for her winter formal, and so she's just so gorgeous, and it was freezing cold, and you see her, she has no sleeves, but she did so great. She was such a trooper. Now I'm going to show you the before and after. And it's so much fun editing. I've never had so much fun editing. I was learning about setting my presets and doing a lot of Googling to see how Lightroom and Photoshop and Bridge all kind of work together, except when they don't, and they're very frustrating, but that's okay. It was actually really cool looking back through my old photography and see how I've grown as a photographer and an editor and whatever else we have to do, because we do it all. Oh, and check out this mug that Casey got me for Christmas. It's just like a lens. I just love it. Oh my goodness. So, I will be using that all the time. Outro. Alright.